Hello, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. I am so happy, I am so glad to be doing this again with you. So you're so much welcome. You know, this makes me vibrate so high when I'm just seated here and I get to talk to you on whichever topic I've prepared. So this makes me really to vibrate so high, and I'm just so happy doing this. All right, so if you're new in this channel, you're so much welcome. Stay to the end because you're in the right family. In this family, we teach and learn from one another how to be better social beings of value and just loving ourselves and being happy while at it. Okay, so you are in the right family, and subscribe, comment, like, and share. All right, yeah, so share my videos, guys, and subscribe. All right, okay, so before I can talk to you about the topic I've prepared for you today, I just want to start with this word that you have to ponder on, like a word to ponder. And this word to ponder on is that do not entertain idleness. Idleness is equal to being bored. Do not entertain that. Have you ever realized that? Every time you're messing up, every time you're making bad decisions, it is always right after you are bored or right after you are idle. So that means do not entertain idleness. Idleness equals to boredness. Yeah, so don't entertain that. Think about it. Yeah, think about it. All right, so on to the topic of today. So today I want to shed some light, or rather talk about how parents actually cause or instigate sibling rival in children. How parents cause or instigate sibling rival in children. And I have like 5 points to show, like to actually show how their actions or how they do things can cause sibling rival. And we all know that sibling rival, we hear about this word, sometimes we joke about it on a lighter note, but sometimes it can get worse. It can actually get worse. I'm sure it's not the first time you hear about brothers, sisters not talking to each other, having permanent beefs, and that thing is not good. And part of it is caused by parents. Part of it is caused by parents. And I just want to say that sometimes parents don't even know that this is actually what they're doing, but in real sense, is that they're actually causing sibling rival, and it can get worse. It can get worse to the level whereby siblings don't talk to each other and they hate each other, and yeah, can even result to something even more worse. Yeah. So most parents don't know about this, but I think if I share this, maybe one or two will adjust. And let me tell you something. By the way, there is no manual to raising kids. There is no parent who is perfect in raising kids. We all, including me, we all raise kids as per what we know is right. And sometimes our actions could be the result as to why our kids are having trauma, or our action could result into some some stubbornness in our kids, or some sort of attitude. No, I don't think there's any parent who does anything intentionally to hurt their babies, but I just, sometimes we need to be so conscious and sensitive enough to know that I need to like have or practice what we call conscious parenting. And now I'll not waste time, and I'll tell you the first course, or yeah, the first course of the first it's not a course. Okay, I started badly. The first way, or the first, what is wrong with me? Okay, okay, let me just take a breather. I'm sorry, guys. My mouth is going too fast than my mind. Okay, right now I'm back. The first way in which a parent instigates or causes rival in siblings is when a parent corrects a child in front of others. I know it sounds crazy, right? So you have 4 kids. One has done something wrong, and you're correcting that kid in front of the others. And let's say this is, for example, it's an elder child. and they're fond of making, maybe, let's say, silly, stupid mistakes, and you're correcting them in front of other siblings. What will happen is that these other siblings will start, like, stepping on that kid, will start like looking down upon them, will start even using words like, there's nothing you can do, right? You're always doing silly mistakes. Even mom or dad knows about it, So you can see how that is going to tamper with the child you corrected in front of others. What is expected is that a child has done something that is not correct, call the child to the side, even just in the bedroom or a place that is away from other siblings. Tell them their mistakes and guide them the way they're supposed to be guided. But do not correct a child in front of other siblings. Do not whip, because I know most African parents, their way of correcting is whipping. So do not whip your child in front of other kids. By the way, that is bad. It actually traumatizes the one that you're correcting, and it doesn't go the right way. So don't correct a kid or a child or your child in front of the others or the other kids that you have. And then kids have grown, they have reached a certain level. You will never have kids that have equal manners. You'll have, there's always must be a balance. There must be one that is very obedient, another one is very vocal, another one is just rude, and I don't want to say rude, but they like speaking their minds, and they just like, doing things the way they want, and you cannot like convince them to do things the way you want. And now you have these different characters in your kids. And because you love the one who is very obedient, you keep on talking to the one that is obedient about others. Oh, your sister is sometimes so rude. Your brother makes mistakes. I don't like the way they are behaving. You constantly is gossiping about your other kids or your other kid to the one that you feel is well-mannered. Soon and very soon you're going to cause rival between them, because now the ones who are said to be the black sheep will start to feel like you are favoring this one kid that you feel like is well behaved. So that is how they'll not see it as a way of you ranting as a parent. They'll just know that they are not your favorite, and your favorite is so and so. And sometimes it gets worse to the extent that they can even come together and start, you know, attacking the one that you feel like is the good child, good manner. They can just do all the bad things to him or her, just because they are responding to the fact that you keep on gossiping about them to this good child of yours that you feel like, she's the best or he's the best compared to others. Okay, so do not gossip to your kid about other kids. You are gonna create, you're going to create a wall between the kids. You're also going to create the sibling rival, and you just never know how fight can go. So that is not good. And then, now let's talk about the most sensitive thing, that is money. You'll have kids, and one thing is that not all these kids will have have the same strength in terms of finance. There's one that will be very well endowed, not well endowed, but will have money, enough money, and even more to even share with you comfortably. There's one that will be struggling. There's another one that will be in the just over there in the middle. Not all of them are able to like give you equal needs that you'll demand as a parent. But what normally happens is that as parents, or some parents now will start praising the one who comes with, who finances them more. Okay, I don't know if maybe they feel like the others are not doing anything, or maybe let's say maybe one is still struggling in life, hasn't gotten a pillar whereby they can hold on so that they can be financially stable. So you find that parents tend to praise the one who is providing more for them. Like they praise that kid. They never see the mistakes of that kid. They even do it in front of others. Like sometimes even some daughters and sons will avoid going home because they do not want to hear that word of, like so and so did this to me. They are always so generous. They sacrifice a lot for us. Like other kids that you are having as a parent will start feeling like maybe they're not doing enough, or maybe they're just bringing the portion they can afford, or give you what they can afford. But because you are putting them in an equal box, not realizing that you have kids from the same, from your blood, but they are different in terms of their capabilities to do with finances. So you end up making them hate each other. You could even find the ones who are not well blessed in finance, hating on the one who has more, talking about the one who has more, like the way maybe he or she likes to, pretend like she's the best or is the best in taking care of the parents, as if you are not human beings. Now you start creating that rift, because now they'll now, just like I've said, will not come home, because they just know that at the end of the day they won't be recognized and even be treated well, just because they are on the bottom line when it comes to provision of finance to you. Okay. And it even gets to a degree whereby a parent will treat the one who provides a lot to them, or the one who is blessed with a lot of financial ability. They start to treat this lady or this guy differently. Like, even the way the lady or the guy will be welcomed, the son or the daughter will be welcomed at home, is different from how the other kid will be welcomed, because the other kid brings nothing to the table in terms of provision to the parents, and this one is bringing a lot, so he or she will be treated nicely, with care. But the other one is just, whether you are here or not, we don't see no one, we don't see nothing, yeah. So finance, and sometimes, I don't know, but it happens a lot. It happens a lot in most families. Then another thing is, you end up showing a lot of love to one child than the others. So let's say, of all your kids, you had this one kid who you got with a lot of trouble, like you went through lots of issues before you got this baby, and then the others, they had it easy. So you end up like babying this one child even into adulthood. Like, whatever they say, you go by it. Whatever they want, you go by it. You don't see their mistakes, but you are very quick to see the mistakes of the siblings or your other kids. You are very quick to discipline them. But for this one, due to the way you really went, whatever you went through during that period, you're just putting a blind eye. So what you're doing is that these kids will start creating some boundary, some walls. They'll start even hating the one that is seen as being loved more. They'll start creating groups whereby group A is attacking B. Okay? So you have to really balance. Love all your kids. Love all your kids equally. Each and every kid that you've been given by God brings something to your life. Or the opposite could be, the child reminds you of of someone that you don't like. Yeah? Maybe when you see the child, you see, so let's say, like, you like you are the mom or the dad. Now when you see the child, you see your auntie, and the way your auntie maybe used to mistreat you. So whenever you see your child, it just reminds you of your auntie, and now this is an innocent kid. You just keep on reprimanding this kid. Like, the way you even treat the kid is just so absurd. Yeah. So no, you can never, like, just love all your kids equally, even if there's that deep in you temptation to tend to like one more. Yeah. Just make sure you're balancing. Love all your kids equally. You just never know. There's a reason why they were kids. There's actually a reason why they chose you. They chose you. Okay. There's a reason why they chose you. All right. And then firstborns. Oh, firstborns. Like, in most families, firstborns, I feel like they have gone through a lot. I just don't know, but there's a type of parenting that, to me, I feel like it's so unfair to firstborns, in that the younger ones, or the siblings that are younger than the firstborn, have made a mistake. The firstborn is being disciplined on their behalf. Like, where were you when they were doing this? These are kids, you are a mature person. That's a trauma you are developing in this kid. Yeah? Like he or she cannot make a mistake. If she makes a mistake or he makes a mistake, the statement will be, you are bigger than the rest and you're behaving this way. No, this is a kid at the end of the day, and they have to make those mistakes because they're kids, and you are there to correct them as a parent. Okay? So telling a kid you are mature than others, you should be able to guide others. No, 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 no. Just bring her to be a leader or him to be a leader, but do not like take the blames or the mistakes of the siblings and then put it all on her or him and tell them that they are supposed to be better, or they're supposed to be on the lookout of how the siblings are behaving. That is so wrong. You are causing trauma to your firstborn. Real trauma. Yeah? Most firstborns have really gone through a lot. I mean, I'm not a firstborn. And one thing one thing I'll say about my parents, I feel they're the best. I feel they really brought us, like, I just love the fact that in our home we recognize we have a firstborn, but there's no that, like, a lot of, like, our firstborn was not left to be a small parent. That is what I'm talking about. Like, he was just treated like a child, like the rest of us. Yeah? So there's no way you'll take the responsibility of you being a parent and just dump it on your first baby and expect that they should behave in a certain manner. That is not a small parent, that is a child. And you tend to see that most firstborns are carrying the trauma because of how they were expected to behave maturely, to take care of the other siblings, to just be there and take blames for the things that the smaller siblings did. Like, they're just not required to make mistakes, and the trauma keeps on and it really affects them. It's not cool. Treat all kids the same, even if it's a firstborn. Yeah, I know the firstborn is the leader, blah blah blah, all that, but still, as you instill the discipline in those kids, remember that these are kids, that your firstborn is a kid. Yeah. All right, so those are the few things or insights that I had that actually causes sibling rival in siblings. Sorry, that causes rival in siblings that is usually instigated by parents. So as a parent, or as parents, we have to do better. It's a long journey because no one teaches you how to be a parent. You just get your baby and you practice on how to be a good parent. Sometimes what you think you're doing good is actually the worst. And what you think is the worst might be the good thing you're doing. At the end of the day, just practice what we call parental, um, having, the correct, how do I put it? The word has just skipped me. Yeah, just be a good parent. Try and be a good, healthy parent, okay? Always be healthy around your kids. Be healthy around your kids because they pick a lot from you. Take care of the words you're telling your kids. Do not, like, tell your kids words that will cause trauma to them. Don't tell your kids, like, they're nothing, they're always stupid. Those things, stay with them. Don't tell your kid that they look ugly. Don't use their physique to discipline them. That all you do is just sit here being lazy with your big body, you just eat, there's nothing you do. Those things get to them and it makes who they are. Yeah, and we don't want to raise kids who have low self-esteem, right? You and me know that very well. So let us practice what we call conscious parenting. Okay? Conscious parenting, being very sensitive of the things you say around your kids, how you're treating them, and the things you make them believe in. Okay? Yeah. So that marks the end of what I had for you concerning how parents can instigate sibling rival, and I hope you learned one or two, or rather you enjoyed. And that's a bye in whichever part of the world that you are in, whether it's day, noon, morning, evening, or nighttime. Have it in a very fabulous way. So that's a bye. Bye, guys.